You have tiny dick goals, and that's why women don't like you. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you how you can set better goals. I'm just gonna step inside for a second, turn on this light. I'm gonna tell you why women are losing attraction for you. Maybe you've gotten relationships before and women are like, interested at first, but then as they get to know you, they stop being attracted. And it's because you have tiny little baby dick goals. You have little baby boy goals. And if that triggers you, then it's probably true. Okay? So don't click off the video. Watch till the end, because I'm gonna make some really good points, give some really good advice, because I used to be a guy with little dick baby tiny goals. Okay. I used to have this goal of, I just want to make, $2,000-3,000 a month through some sort of online business and play video games all day. Because I wanted to be a pro World of Warcraft player. I also wanted to be a pro CSGO player and like pro Overwatch player, like all these different games that like come out, and like I'd get really into them, put in like 3,000 hours, and then, give up after I got like to like a semi-pro level where I was like pretty good. And that was all because I had little baby tiny dick goals. Right, I was always the kid with ADHD that was playing video games all day. That, whenever I was in high school playing basketball, I never wanted to work out until I got cut from the basketball team, and I had a reason to. I never was actually the one to push myself until today. And the reason that I'm able to push myself every single day is because I have a very clear vision of what I want in my life. And if you were like I was, and you think, oh man, but like, I could never do that. I could never set bigger goals. The country I live in, I'm in Romania, or I'm in the UK, or I'm in Sweden, or I'm in Finland, and like people are not outgoing. Like I could never learn how to talk to people because no one talks to people. It's like, yeah, bro, you're watching this channel because you're watching a small ass YouTuber talk about getting more women, because you don't want to be like most guys. So get over the fact that most guys don't succeed with women. Get over the fact that most guys don't make a lot of money. Get over the fact that most guys don't have the ability to connect with other strong men because those strong men don't respect them. Get over that, because as soon as you get over it, that's when you actually can start. Like right now, if you're watching this video and you have these little tiny goals, I'm telling you, you are at age 0. You have not even started. You need to start first. That's one of the most valuable lessons I have ever learned when it comes to self-development and improving my skills with women. Okay? When I was 19, 18, I had big dick goals for then. Like I wanted to be really attractive to women, go up to any woman I wanted to and attract her. And so no wonder I got good results. Then when I was 19, after about 1.5 years of learning those skills, I got a girlfriend, and we dated for about 2.5 years, ended up living together for 1 year. And that was me settling. That was me not living up to those goals. And so halfway through the relationship, I started feeling like I was settling because I was letting myself go. And I do regret now that I chose to let myself go, but it was a very valuable life lesson. If you've watched the video on this channel where I talk about the 7 stages of dating, and you can kind of find out where you're at, there's a settling stage. There's the degen/settling stage, right? And you either go into this degenerate stage where you have a ton of sex, or you settle. And I kind of settled, and it's not usually the woman's fault. It's usually your fault for settling. You're not settling with the woman, you're settling with yourself. And I did that when I was 19, and it cost me a couple years, but it was a valuable life lesson. I'm grateful for it. And it was because I had tiny goals. I kept that same goal that I had when I was 18, up until I was like 19 and a half or 20. And it allowed me to settle. And I didn't keep those goals in mind either. If I would have kept those goals in mind, I probably would have stayed stronger. I probably would have, had that relationship with different boundaries. And that is really what I want to talk about today, is keeping your goals in mind and setting bigger goals. So if you're watching this video and you want to learn how to become a man that's just a little bit more attractive to women, I want you to Write that down on a piece of paper. And I want you to crumple it up and throw it the fuck away and light it on fire, okay? And then I want you to write down the actual big dick goal, that like the grown-ass man version of you, not the little baby boy that just like thinks like, oh, but like, girls could never like me at this level. What's the big dick massive goal that you have when it comes to attracting and keeping women? Because the goal of this channel is not to help the average loser get a little bit better with the average woman. It's to teach maybe the average loser how to be a top 1% man in terms of attractiveness. The type of man that, maybe by the time this channel's run its course, maybe it's the top 3%, because so many people have latched onto this movement of, I want to be more attractive to women. Because that's totally normal. You should want to be more attractive to women. That's such bullshit saying that we don't want that as men, because it's evolutionary, it's biological that we want to be more attractive to women, okay? I hate people that say, we're not doing this to be attractive to women. I'm lifting for myself, King. Shut the fuck up. No, you're not. You're absolutely not, right? You're absolutely not. It's just not the case. And that's fine, okay? So, write down your big dick goal. What's your big dick goal? 10 tens in a month? Sleeping with 10 tens in a month? Maybe it's find my perfect sweet wife, right? My perfect sweet feminine wife that I want to, sleep with for the rest of my life. If you're 45, maybe you want to find a 23-year-old woman that's mature, has a job, is successful for her age, and is incredibly sexy and fit, and wants to be incredibly sexy and fit for her whole life. Maybe you want that. Maybe you want multiple relationships with multiple women. Eventually you'll probably evolve out of that, because I talk about that in my 7 stages of dating. But for now, what do you want? What do you want your life to look like in 10 years? Because chances are, especially if you're young watching this video, and even if you're older, you don't want to actually be a father. And if you already are a father, you know how hard it is when you jump into that too soon. So when you think about starting a family, like, you should be wanting to be financially free and understand how to attract tons of women first. You should really have that dialed in. I spent 7 years, and I wish I would have just figured it out like full force, like I'm telling you to do, and like set giant goals. I wish I would have figured it out full force in just 2 years. But because I didn't set big enough goals, I literally wasted like 5 years of my life because I was focused on that. I was focused on that, dating women, like learning how to date women consistently and getting really good at it. And I did get there, but it took a long time because I didn't have big enough goals. And so if you're watching this video, you need to set bigger goals. Bigger goals will make women fall in love with you, especially if you execute on it every single day. And that's where systems come in. You have to set systems. There's the whole habits of highly effective people, right? And he says set systems, not goals. You need to set goals first and then set systems around those goals. Because if you set systems around just getting a little bit better with women in the next 5 years, guess what is going to happen? You're going to approach one girl every month and get super emotionally devastated when she rejects you. And then you'll get a little bit better in 5 years. But if you want to be surrounded by attractive women all the time and have them chasing you, having them showing interest in you, them approaching you, them giving everything they can to lock you down, then you will actually start acting like a high value male. Like a high value, like alpha male, right? Like the alpha male, right? You'll start acting like that. Because you need to. You need to reach your goals. Inside of every one of us, there is a masculine ambition. There is a masculine focus waiting to be unlocked, and you are just refusing to unlock it. Whether it's because you're scared, because you're like, catch a case or whatever, because women are lying, women are against you. Dude, the actual true, strong, alpha male Giga Chad, that guy, he doesn't give a fuck about any fear about catching a case or whatever, because he has strong enough control over his actions that he's not going to sleep with a woman that's high risk like that. He's not going to do anything. He's not going to put himself in a position where a woman would actually make those accusations, because he's going to protect himself, because he knows how valuable he is. Even when I help guys have crazy sex with tons of different women, I tell them how to do it in a safe way, where you're not going to catch a case, where you're not going to do all this, like, you know, you're not going to put yourself in a position where it's 3 a.m. and you're both high on drugs and like you just kind of hook up, and then maybe she regrets it the next morning and like tells her friends or whatever, and then they tell her to go to the cops or some weird shit, right? Because you're using protection. You're meeting her once or twice before you hook up with her, before you let her have sex with you, right? She's chasing. As soon as you see red flags, you're out of there, and you start approaching and only talking and dating high value women. There are so many high value women that would never do anything like that, but because you're emotionally weak, if you're getting triggered by this, good. Because you're emotionally weak, you let those women run your fucking life. The toxic women that are gonna, like, you know, tell on you or like take your kids from you or whatever. You're letting those women run your life because you're weak and you've refused to build up strength. And that's on you. That's your choice. And right now, when you're getting emotionally triggered, you're typing in the comments, oh, but Timothy, you know, oh, but Timothy, like, this sucks. This, you know, this is not true. You know, there's all these statistics. It's like, dude, those statistics, that doesn't apply to us. You know why? Because we're going to be 1% men. We're going to make the 1% the 3%. Because there's room. There is room. I would say that up to 10% of men could be hyper successful, hyper masculine. So why isn't that you? 1 out of 10? That's doable. 1 out of 100 is hard. 1 out of 10, that's fucking doable. It's very doable. Right? And this is the best time we've ever been alive to be in the top 10%, because it's easy. It's fucking easy. I'm in the top 10% in terms of attractiveness. I make like basically like an average straight out of college with a bachelor degree type of money. I live in an apartment, like a 1-bedroom apartment. It's like a decent location. You know, I keep my place clean. I live kind of minimalistic. I invest back into myself, and I'm in the top 10%. And I'm just starting. Like, if you're watching this like 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, you will know that I'm hyper successful now. But I am not that way now, right? In 5 years, I will be, right? But it's because I'm setting like big dick goals. You know, I'm setting a goal of like, in 10 years, I want my company, Understanding Attraction, where we help guys like literally become men that are attractive to women forever, like for eternity, for the rest of their lives. We help men do that. And we help them do that through my 10-year vision. And that's going to be a $100 million a year company in 10 years. That's the goal. And do you think I'm going to be upset if in 10 years it's an $80 million a year company? Or even a $50 or $10 million a year company? Do you think I'm going to be upset about that? No. Of course not. But I'm going to work every goddamn day to make it 100 million. And that's why I'm making YouTube. I'm literally making YouTube channels or YouTube videos because I want to create a big movement, and big movements happen from like YouTube. That's the biggest platform. So I need to do that. I started on Facebook, and I can't do it anymore. You know, I'm making money from Facebook so I can like continue to pay employees, pay people that work for me, and pay people that I work with, blah, 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 and like pay myself, you know, support me and my fiance, right? But I'm not doing it so that I can like scale the business. Like, this is what I'm doing that's like long-term. And I'm thinking long-term, right? That's why I'm working my ass off. And so you need to set bigger goals. Stop being so weak. If you're still watching this video, it's a really good sign, okay? Because if you still have these limiting beliefs and you're still watching this video, then that means you can break them. Because some people can't be helped. And that's just the facts. But my content I make on this channel, I want to attract the people that can be helped. That's why I'm going to speak brutally and honestly to you. I'm going to call you weak. Because I'm even weak sometimes. Like last night I was sitting in bed. I've been very disciplined for the past week, right? Without breaking my habits, like very consistent, which is crazy for me because even though I reached a decent amount of success at like a pretty young age, at like 25, there's guys at my age that are really crushing it more than me. And like what I realized is that like last night when I was sitting in bed, I was like, fuck, like I've been really consistent. That's really awesome. But like my emotions are really coming up and like telling me like, go eat some junk food or something. Go do some shit that's gonna fuck you up. Go do some shit that's gonna like really like get that instant gratification. And I didn't do it. And me now is so happy that I didn't, because I feel good. Right? Like I talk about discipline on this channel because it's something I'm learning recently. I'm learning it's a skill. And that's a big part of strength. So when I'm like giving you shit and challenging you, that's another like strong man challenging you to see if you're up for the challenge. And that's a test of your character. Like I'm trying to test your character right now. And hopefully you're up for the challenge. Hopefully you're using the emotions coming up as a reason to get stronger, not a reason to die or give up. Because if you are, I think you're the type of guy I want in this movement. Okay? I'm going to be making a lot more content like this in the future. You know, very raw and real and uncut, where I talk about like basically your problems, what's holding you back from getting the women you actually want. So if you're interested, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you're new, comment and let me know what you want to see in the next video. What are some issues that you think are holding you back from getting the women you want to be with? See you in the next one. Peace.